Redmouth here. I wanted to start off the vid by saying welcome to my brand new channel and thank you for tuning into our first video. This channel will have videos about many subjects of all types soon enough, but our first segment is going to be dedicated to cryptids, a personal favorite topic of mine. Since I'm from Maryland, I figured I'd start with my home state's local cryptid, the Goatman. Please enjoy the video and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content uploaded weekly. According to urban legend, the Goatman is an axe-wielding, half-animal, half-man creature that was once a scientist who worked in the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. The tale holds that he was experimenting on goats until one experiment backfired and he was mutated, becoming a goat-like himself. He then began attacking cars with an axe, roaming the back roads of Beltsville, Maryland. A variation of the legend tells of the Goatman as an old hermit who lives in the woods, seen walking alone at night along Fletchertown Road. One variation of the story has it that the Goatman was a result of a very early DNA experiment conducted by a scientist named Stephen Fletcher, though other variations suggest a more supernatural origin involving the devil. According to University of Maryland folklorist Barry Pearson, the Goatman legends began long ago and were further popularized in 1971 when the death of a dog was blamed on Goatman by local residents. Pearson says bored teenagers keep the Goatman legend alive by repeating the story and suggesting that the creature attacks couples frequenting the local Lover's Lane, subsequently stirring interest in sites like Fletchertown Road. There are so many variations on the story of the Prince George's County Goatman that it is nearly impossible to keep them straight. For some, he is but a lonely, angry goat herder who went berserk after finding his beloved goats dead due to teens tampering. To others, he is the same family as Bigfoot, a mythical beast that roams the earth. In perhaps the most bizarre tale of them all, the Goatman is the result of a ghastly experiment in the Beltsville Research Agricultural Center. The USDA facility has actually been forced to deny that one. The Goatman terrorizes lovers, chases teens, and decapitates dogs. He yells, squeals, and yes, makes goat noises. He made reported appearances all across the region. He has inspired fear and fascination for decades, but according to historian and author Mark Opasnik, the foremost expert on Maryland legend, there is a canonical Goatman origin story, and it begins on Fletchertown Road in Bowie. The first media mention of the Goatman came on October 27, 1971, in the Bowie-based Prince George's County News. In the article, writer Karen Holsler took a deep dive into the University of Maryland folklore archives. She mentions the Goatman along with the ghosts and something called the Bowman that also haunt the woods around Fletchertown Road. 2 weeks later, Hostler wrote another newspaper article with the headline, "Residents Fear Goatman Lives, Dog Found Decapitated in Old Bowie." The article described the search of a family, the Edwards, for their missing puppy named Ginger. Days later, Ginger was found near Fletchertown Road, dead and headless. The article connected the deceased dog with the Goatman, saying that a group of teenage girls, including the Edwards' 16-year-old daughter, April, had heard strange noises and seen a large creature on the night the dog had disappeared. It also reported that sightings of an animal-like creature walks on its hind legs were increasing along Fletchertown Road. On November 30th, the Goatman got its first introduction to a larger audience thanks to the Washington Post. An article headlined, "A Legendary Figure Haunts Remote Prince George's Woods," identifies the young men who found Ginger, Ray Hayden, John Hayden, and Willie Cheen. The Prince George's County Police are also quoted in the piece saying that the legend just gets passed on from generation to generation and that they've been receiving more recent calls about Goatman sightings. Opasnik grew up mere miles from Bowie in Greenbelt and remembers very clearly the first time he heard the Goatman legend. He was in 7th grade and in the backseat of his friend's older brother's car. We would get rides. When we would act up in the back seat, they would tell us to shut the hell up or they'll dump us on Fletchertown Road and the Goatman will get us. Ospasnik says he became enamored of the story. While attending Roosevelt High School, Ospasnik and his friends would go Goatman hunting. In fact, Searching for monsters had become a local teen obsession. Ospasnik describes Goatman parties on Fletchertown Road and nearby Crybaby Bridge on Lotsfort Road. That sounded like something out of Dazed and Confused. Halloween night 1979 was one of the craziest nights of my life, Ospasnik says. Pearson thinks the legend of the Goatman was influenced by car culture in the 60s and 70s, which gave teens the freedom to discover the world around them. It might also be tied to what students were learning about Greek culture and half-man, half-god Pan in school. Certainly, the newspaper accounts helped. And goats are, you know, kind of freaky anyway. Goats are known to be smelly and sometimes kind of charming, but if you look at them closely, especially in their eyes, they are really scary in their own way, Pearson says. In 1987, Ospasnik started writing for Strange magazine and wasted no time in getting to the Goatman. In 1994, he wrote what he thinks was the first thoroughly researched piece about the legend, titled On the Trail of the Goatman. He would later expand the article into a chapter for his book. He tracked down Edward's family and the men who found Ginger. John Hayden told Ospasnik that he and the others had seen an animal the night before. It was about 6 feet tall, walked on 2 feet, and was hairy. Hayden also noticed that it made a high-pitched sound like a squeal. Ospasnik was also able to speak with April Edwards, Ginger's owner. People came here and called it folklore, and the papers made us out to be ignorant hillbillies who didn't know any better, Edwards said. But what I saw was real, and I know I'm not crazy. Whatever it was, I believed it killed my dog. Mark Ospasnik doesn't believe the Goatman exists. I can't believe in something until I see it with my own eyes, he says. He feels bad saying that because he genuinely believes that the people he's talked to saw something. I mean, anything is possible in the world, he says. Maybe there is a half-man, half-animal creature out there. I was born and raised in Prince George's County, Maryland, and my first encounter with the Goatman, or its story at least, took place when I was in elementary school. My mother had told me about the story one night when we were driving along the country roads of Prince George's County. As there are many dark, deep forested areas with no headlights, she used to love to tell me to look out into there and see if I could make out any kind of creature in the distance. Of course, I never specifically saw anything that I could describe as Goatman-esque, but, you know, as a youth, your mind does play tricks on you. And many figures were formed in the shadowy dark of the night, but none of them got close enough for me to retrieve any kind of proof or evidence of this creature's existence. Well, a cryptid fanatic can hope, you know. Anyways, thank you for checking out this first video ever from me. And if you like what you heard, please, by all means, click the like button on the video and the subscribe in order to see new content uploaded from us weekly. Also, click the bell on the side of the subscription for notifications whenever we drop a new video, which will be often. Thank you once again for tuning in to X Red Moth. And remember, when you're on YouTube looking for good content, X marks the spot.